Hello, and welcome back. Here we are today, continuing with the grid portrait. And last time, I uh, I used my photograph and my grids to draw out a light contour sketch of my portrait. So today I'm coming back into the portrait and continuing to work on that, and I'm building up the shading. So today is all about shading, the next step of the process. And what that entails is I'm looking at my photograph, and um, last time I was focused on really seeing where all of the lines and shapes intersected those grids. So using square by square method and drawing what I see in each square, but not really worrying about the shading, what's darker or lighter, just sort of blocking in the line and the general contour or outline, if you will. So today I'm coming back in and I'm trying to build up that light and dark. So I'm looking at my reference photo, and where I see areas of a lot of darkness, I'm filling that in on my portrait. So wherever I see black shadows, I'm using a really dark pencil mark and adding some shading. Um, I'm just gonna work methodically over this whole portrait to um, add areas of light shading as well as areas of really hard dark shading. And this is really all about using your powers of observation, trying to see by comparison what's lighter and what's darker, and trying to match that tone with your pencil. So by doing this process, you shouldn't have to make anything up. Everything should be there for you in the photograph, and it's really just a job of trusting your eyes and trying to match those tones as best you can. Not go overboard, making areas too dark. Um, and if you do, you can always come in with an eraser and lighten it back up. And then similarly, not going too light in areas where it's the darkness really needs to be punched in. So hopefully you can see as I do this example that um, everything was sort of light, very light gray outlines, and now I'm really really punching in the darkness in some areas, and then adding more areas of light and medium shading until I've got an image that more closely resembles the contrast that I have, the balance of light and dark in the photograph that I'm working from. All right, so I'm gonna take a break from my shading. I'm pretty happy with how this face and hand is looking. So what I'm gonna do here is take my eraser and erase those grid lines that are in the face. So in the areas that I haven't finished yet, I'm leaving my grid lines. But in the areas where I'm all done drawing and all done working from the photograph, I will erase those grid lines. So that's why it's important that I left my grid lines really light. I didn't go hard and dark on my grid lines because I knew in the end I would want to erase those. And the eraser that I'm using right now is a really nice kind of eraser. It's called a kneaded eraser. And what's really nice about it is that it doesn't make all those little eraser bits all over the place. But my kneaded eraser is pretty big. It doesn't have a very fine tip. So I also came in with just a regular eraser that's on the end of a pencil because I would have a more precise erase mark. And I'm using that to get rid of the grid lines that are really close to where I drew, even though it does make a little bit of eraser dust. Yeah, so this has been adding some shading to your portrait, and now that I've completed one area of my portrait, I'm erasing those grid lines, which should be the last step when you're drawing your portrait. I'm still gonna come back in after I take a break and do the rest of the body, the rest of the T-shirt. But for right now, um, I'll leave it be, and I'm just getting rid of the grid lines in the areas where I'm done. So I'll be left with just the white of the paper.